So here we are again. What has changed? Well, pretty much nothing. I wish I had a bit more hopeful news, but nothing really to report. But there are some things I kind of guess I should talk about, get off my chest. It's not going to be as dark as my last one. I mean, I'm still kind of bummed out, filled with anxiety and somewhat depression, but I think most of the really bad thoughts, I guess, are kind of out of my head. Just I had to get them out, and once you get them out, you feel a little better. So, still looking for work, still being pretty much unsuccessful, and I've even had to kind of lower my bar of what I want for a job in coding. After going back into food. I am trying to avoid going back into like a major restaurant or anything. I mean, there is a food job, well, a couple of food jobs I eyed that might be more tolerable than the last food jobs I've had. One is in a hospital. A friend of mine recommended that maybe I should look into hospital work because healthcare is a bit more of a stable area to work in, which she's not wrong. Though I have a friend, she's working as a switchboard receptionist at the hospital, and she's going through a lot of hell. Rose, that's my friend. She every day she has to go. She hates it, and I don't blame her. Mostly because it's shit pay, it's per diem. She gets a lot of shit for nothing that she can do because she's a switchboard operator. She doesn't know anything about the hospital medical terms, any of that bullshit. And she has really shitty coworkers. Like she only has one that she really likes. Oh, and her manager is a fucking useless twat. So there's that. And yeah, I've been through a few jobs like that. There is a saying, people say they don't quit jobs, they quit management. And I find that to be very true because bad management can kill any job, regardless if you really like it. Of course, it's really bad if you really hate the job and then you have shitty management. That's just a double whammy. But I did see a video yesterday that actually brought up a really good point because I have seen this even before all this shit happened to me. And now that I'm looking at jobs again online, I see a very prominent. There's something called a term that came in that video called academic inflation. And I find it to be actually pretty true. What does that mean? What that means is that a lot of these jobs are inflating academic requirements for jobs that really don't need it. Like jobs that are asking for an associate's or bachelor's degree for entry level jobs that anyone could do regardless if you have a degree or not. I'm talking about like secretarial jobs, certain management jobs. Like a lot of these jobs do not need they do not need a goddamn degree. But now that these employers are becoming a lot more particular, and sometimes people feel like it's probably these academic institutions, these bullshit Ivy League schools like Preston and or not Preston, Princeton, Yale, Harvard, MIT. They're kind of in these companies like, well, let's just make people waste more money on a college degree that they really don't need, and they just go further into debt. And even when you get these goddamn degrees, you do not get higher pay. You get entry level pay for like 15 or so an hour. And so it's like, well, what the fuck did I even go for? I mean, what the fuck? You don't need a degree to do most of these jobs, but now they're asking you to get a bachelor's degree just for basic work that you could have gotten probably 10 years ago without a degree. And you're thinking like, well, if you have a degree, you should get higher pay, right? Well, that's how it should be. But a lot of these companies now are just saying, no, we just want you to have a bachelor's degree just so you get the job. You're not going to get any more money. And now sometimes they're even telling you, well, if you want more money, you need to get a master's degree. Like, do you realize how much goddamn money and time it is to get a master's degree on top of a bachelor's and associates? Associates usually only takes like a couple of years. A bachelor's usually takes 4. I guess an associate can reach to bachelor's within that 4 years sometimes. I don't know. Depends on the degree, obviously, but it's goddamn mind-boggling that now they're saying, well, you need a master's degree if we're going to give you a pay raise. It's like, okay, so now you want me to spend even more time and money in college just to get a goddamn master's so I can get a few dollars more, maybe up to $5 more. And that doesn't make up for the amount of money that you spend to get the goddamn master's. And to me, this kind of reiterates all the big lies we were told when we were kids. We're saying, oh, you got to get good grades. I mean, I'm not against people getting good grades and all that, but like, you know, go graduate high school, get a college degree, and you'll get a really good job. And all that was kind of bullshit. I mean, I know there wasn't guarantees in life. There is no guarantees in life, by the way. Let's let that out of the cage. But I remember when I was in school, especially in junior high and for sure in high school, they were pushing the whole, oh, you got to go to college and get a degree and your life will be so much better. And I've heard many stories from people I don't know and people I do know that went to school after high school, you know, college, whatever. And they got nothing out of it except crippling debt and wasting time. And people say, well, college is more than a degree, as you can beat people, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. In a way, I get that. But it's like, why waste all that time and money? Like, you can meet people anywhere. Like, what's the experience? And it's like, well, the experience doesn't seem to be worth it. It really doesn't. I'm honestly, and the other notion that says, like, you should probably just go to a trade school or learn a trade. And I'm thinking that's actually sound advice. Like, people like to talk shit about blue-collar workers like they're dumb Neanderthals. Like, well, let me ask you this, motherfucker. Are you going to change the wiring in your house? No. Are you going to redo the plumbing in your house? No. Are you going to, you know, build a deck or redo your roof or even change the oil in your fucking car, let alone your engine and all that shit? No. Those people still need to exist, the blue-collar people. And yeah, maybe they're not, quote, book smart, but they're smart in their field, and they know how to do their job. Now, of course, some of those people can rip you off too, which is why you have to be careful. But I'm talking more about the general idea of someone learning a trade instead of going into academic pursuits. Like, the whole academia superiority shit just pisses me off, because these so-called intellectuals who think they know all the philosophies and whatever and the social sciences of all this bullshit, they're so much better than us Neanderthals who actually, you know, want to learn and work and actually make money. And that's what I hate about modern academia. And they've permeated into a lot of our society, and they've kind of brainwashed a lot of people thinking that their self-righteousness is the best philosophy. Like, you can study philosophy and social sciences all you want. That's your prerogative. But don't pretend that you're better because, like, well, I don't have to turn a wrench or break my back putting shit together. Well, fine. But don't shit those people down because they're busting ass and they're probably making a lot more money than you are. Really. Well, it's more than about money. Bullshit. Bullshit. Like, look, You spend 4 years on your liberal arts degree and wasted like $70,000 of your mommy and daddy's money, most likely. Probably money you didn't even spend. Your mommy and daddy did, and you got nothing out of it. Well, you know what? You picked the wrong horse to bet on. What can you do? You suck it up and move on, or you're gonna have to work at a coffee house. Oh well. Or maybe suck it up and just learn a trade. Learn something that's actually useful instead of your liberal arts studies that no one really wants to listen to anyway. I sure as hell don't. I'm getting a little semi-political there, so I'll just stop at that notion. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my rant. But it's very true. It's just like, I feel like I maybe need to learn a trade. I know I'm getting older, unfortunately, but maybe I think maybe I should become an electrician. I don't know, maybe a plumber. I don't know. Plumber might be a little rough. Not that I'm against plumbers, but it's like I don't know if that would be for me. Electrician. I actually wanted to become a radiology tech at one point. I probably should have pursued that because that is a much better trade kind of route. And I know my sister, she's actually learning how to do like online, coding projects and such. She actually started going to a school, like not just online, actually in person learning. And so far she's liking it. And I really hope that she actually succeeds because I know she's kind of in a similar situation where I was, or I am actually, where we're trying to figure out what the fuck do we want to do? What can we do job wise so we can, make a decent living and actually kind of like our jobs? I mean, people saying you can't ever fully love your job. Like there's no such thing as that. And I think it does exist. It's just very rare. And I get most of the time it's just, look, you got to pick a job and, do your best at it. And mind you, I liked my previous job. And I thought, barring a few mistakes, I was getting better at it. But again, it wasn't enough. And a side note of that, I guess that position on the school website, it's gone, which I find kind of weird because I don't think they would hire someone that quickly if it was someone out of the blue. So either they took down the posting rather, because they probably figured, well, we're probably not going to get anyone at this point. Maybe we'll have to wait until the next school year, which is probably a smart idea. Or they could have done an inside hire, because if they had to hire someone on the outside, they would have to do the background check, they had to do a drug test, and that can take a few weeks. But then again, maybe they already had someone lined up that fucking quickly to get rid of me. It's like, I feel like almost a part of me feels like they were already interviewing someone for my job while I was still working. Mind you, that happens. That actually does happen. I've read about that recently. It's like, yeah, they can be hiring people for your job that you are currently working and that you have no real indication that they're going to let you go until it's too late. So I'm wondering, I mean, they had the posting, mind you, but maybe a lot of jobs also have to legally post a job if it is, trying to figure out the words here. Like they do job postings because I think they're legally obliged to post an opening, even though they have someone already in mind within their company. I've heard my friends say this, like, yeah, they have jobs to where they will, they will already have someone in mind, but they will still do the posting just because they have to. I honestly, I don't know what the conclusion is on my previous job. I'll have to keep checking that posting because maybe if I see it pop up again, then I would confirm that, like, yeah, they just took down the posting for now because it's a little probably too late to hire someone. Or if it's still not there for a long time, then it's like, I guess they hired someone almost right away, which again, I think it only can be an inside hire. Or again, they already had someone waiting in the wings and they didn't fucking tell me. And if that's the case, then that's pretty fucked up. But I'm sure that kind of story has happened to many others. It's not a unique thing. It's not. I would 100% guarantee you this is not the first time it's happened, obviously. What else? Yeah, I'm just waiting for a call back. I called back yesterday for a job where my friend works. They said they'll get in touch with the woman that hires. I might hear something today. And then the other job is like as like a small noodle shop. So maybe that won't be as bad as working for Little Caesars where, you know, everyone wants pizza and shit. I'm trying to avoid, there is a Domino's up here and they are looking for people. I really don't want it to go back to that though. Because it's funny is that when I was looking at the posting for Domino's, I was just having those feelings come back from my time at Little Caesars, and a lot of it was not good. I don't think I want to do that. But sometimes you have to go with the nuclear option, as in you have to just nuke everything and start over. But I hope that's not the case. There was also another posting I did, or a job posting I applied to about like I guess it's probably like a new medical office opening, and they want like a helper. And I emailed them back last week, and they say like, yeah, well, we've been overwhelmed, so we'll make a decision by mid-June. Well, I don't want to wait that long. And if they're overwhelmed, then its odds are I'm not even going to probably even be considered. I'm probably just going to have to write that job off. I mean, if they do contact me for an interview or anything, regardless if I'm working a certain job or not, I'll respond. I'll at least try. And finally, yeah, one more thing about trying something. I have actually tried to file for unemployment. I just got a notice saying that they will look into my claim. That's not confirmation that I will be getting it. The reason I feel like I probably won't is because, again, I didn't get fired so much as I got demoted, but they still offered me work, and then I declined the job because I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go into the cafeteria again. And again, where they were sending me was going to be a pain in the ass to get to via taking mass transit, taking the bus. So it was just not a good situation. So yeah, that's going to be about it, I guess, for now. Yeah, I guess I'll have to just keep on keeping on. Hope something comes out. I don't know if it will. I hope there is, because I'm going to be running out of money soon. I think I'm going to get my last check. I should get it today if I'm still getting direct deposited, although I don't know if I have to actually go physically pick up my check now that I'm out of the system. I have no idea. I'll have to check my bank account to see if they transferred my last bit of what I worked this month. It would kind of suck if I would have to go get the check, because I don't want to have to go back to the office. That would not be fun, but I have to, because it's my fucking money. I earned it. So anyway, that's it for me for now. Yeah, you all take care. I don't know if I'll be streaming today or not. I might stream something on Twitch. Yeah, so you all take care and stay safe. Bye for now.